Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another episode of Junk Journal Page Idea series. I'm not sure which number we're on, but it'll be listed in the description box or the title or whatever. So off to a rockin' start. How are you guys? I am in the studio. I was very ahead on my videos, so I did take a little bit of a break this last week and didn't do a whole lot in the studio. I've been focusing on my health and my activities and my diet and all of that. And I've got a stabilization thing going on here. So I think I'm golden now. So today what we're going to be making is a variety of window kinds of ephemera where you're using the entire page or the entire, half of a page in terms of height and width of a journal page. And I did one off camera. I'm going to move some supplies out of my way after I talk about them so that I have some space to show you. My Fabri-Tac Vintage Photo Archival ink, Barely Arts glue, my zero gravity ruler for finding the center of all things that are important, my regular ruler, this is my cheat ruler, has all the little increments of measurements, scissors, a cutting knife. I was so nervous to cut on this, guys, but I did it off camera and it's amazing. I'm so excited to actually utilize that feature of this mat. So I've got a couple of dies. This is one we're going to do that I haven't done yet, but this is the one I used in my prototype. So let me show you the template first. So I only did a template on the one design. We're also going to do one that is kind of like a belly band, sort of like, because you can't really open that up, right? Because then everything would fall apart. But we're going to kind of make a really tall window there just to kind of make it look like a belly band kind of situation. But basically what it is it's a kind of a door thing, and that's my beautiful picture. I just thought for the template, just to show you that that's where your image would go. These measure, I cut this down to 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, and then it's glued, so the piece that has your actual image on it is going to be glued backwards onto this page. So you're going to get a little bit of bulk, but I don't think it's a problem at all. And then we'll talk about this a little bit more, but when deciding where you want to cut your window, you want to make sure you pick your image first so that you get it lined up in the window area, especially if you're going to do a full page thing. You could also do this, I was thinking about this after the fact, to eliminate having to put an extra page in here. You could actually just have it be a very tall tag that slides in to some kind of a pocket situation, which I'm not exactly sure how that would work out, but I'm not sure we'll tackle that this time, but you could play around with that and figure out how you could actually have your image show in your window, but have it be something that could come out, which would just basically mean putting a whole nother piece of paper, basically making a whole page pocket here and just having it be a tuck spot. So we'll think about that. We might do that, we might not. So measurement wise, I'll have to tweak this a little bit because I had to cut off just a smidge off of each of these edges here. It was just slightly too big and it was like catching, but these measure 1 13/16 by 4 3/8. Our actual die that I'm using to cut the window is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8, but I had to account for a 1/4 inch hinge, so there's a hinge under here just to make it be able to have that functionality. So yeah, 1 13/16 by 4 3/8. So again, as with anything that I show you, you can make it whatever size you want. But I do have to show you. So even though I am in special education, I work for the school district. I haven't done math like this in ages, but I did it. I figured out what 1 9/16 plus 1 1/4 was, or 9/16. Yeah. Anyway, I did my math. I was feeling pretty good about it. But so this is the prototype. So I thought it turned out pretty darn good. I love these images. Again, my friends, I am like so it takes me so long to prep a video like this that I just can't get you the specific names of the digitals before I start the video. So everything that you see today will be linked, okay? A bunch of new kits that I got for the winter journal. So this is one of them. Absolutely. It's called Harmony, and it's absolutely stunning, stunning, totally my style. As you can tell, we've got a lot of mixed media kind of feel to it, but ours opens up like this, and we've got this little girl peeking out, okay? So I love that. And then inside, on this one, I just did pockets. So there's a lot that you could do. So my image is glued down. And the reason why I wanted pockets is because I made this too small when I glued that image inside. And I didn't like the way it looked. I still don't like it, but this will probably go in my reference journal just because I'm not thrilled with how it turned out, but it's a great start. So that is that. I have my table set over there because this is going to be, I've got to have my cutter available, my die cut machine. So, it's a lot. And then this is sort of what we're going to be doing for the belly. I'm calling it a belly band. It's like a faux belly band. And we would have an image that would fill this whole space. So, on the one we do together, we're going to leave a little bit more of a border there because I feel it's a little bit weak. This is 65-pound paper, but that's a 1/2 inch. So I'm thinking I'm going to make it like 3/4 inch on the top and the bottom, but we'll get to that momentarily. We're going to start with this one. So this is the paper we're going to be using for the first one. Well, let me just set these aside, and I'm going to probably speed up quite a bit of this because I do have 3 projects that I'm going to try to do. We'll see how it goes. The idea is to do one that is this square, this rectangle, the one that is the square, and then we're going to cut ourselves on camera using the cutting mat, the longer one together. So that's the idea. So this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to move some things out of my way and hope that this goes smoothly because I planned this a couple of days ago, and or thinking it out. Prepping most of it today though, so as before I sat down. So to do the window one with the doors, I did print 2 pieces of this paper. So this is again from that same kit called Harmony. In fact, and this is a different digital. It's called Winter Pink, I believe, and the images in this are absolutely amazing, but I loved it because it's got the pink, and that's going to go really well with what we have going on here. But I found that I needed 2 because I wanted my doors to be lined up with the image. So obviously I cut that square out. I couldn't use the rectangle. I couldn't use the actual rectangle because I needed that 1/4 inch flap on each side, or hinge on each side. So that's why I cut another piece of paper. So we don't need the big image quite yet, but we do need these. So we're going to start by folding this in half, and then we'll get going on the hard part here. This was a little tricky for me. Measurements are hard, but my word for the year is exploration, which means trying things that I would not normally try and doing hard things, quite honestly. Okay, so I'm going to bring this kind of over into view so that we can know what we're dealing with here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick my area. So let me back up a second, back to my note on here where you need to decide where you're going to put your window after you've decided what your image is going to be behind it. So in this case, we're only going to get part of her because she's pretty tall, but I thought we would capture this part. So you can see, now this is a portrait image, a portrait digital, so I do have plenty of leeway there that I could play around with, but I think she's going to be fine to go kind of, let me just see, kind of middle of the page. Just by eye spying it, she can go kind of middle of the page. So that's what I'm going to aim for. And again, just as I always say, I'm not aiming for perfection. It's just having fun, okay? So I'm going to get a little piece of tape just some washi tape so that I can keep this all in place when I send it to my machine. So I'm just going to make, and I'm just trying to get it even. I usually do pretty good eye spying it in terms of like looking edge to edge and top to bottom. Again, I'm not super concerned. I do want to make sure I get some of that pink. So I am going to, I do want it to stay center if I can. So I think I'm going to go down a little bit, and I'm about even on the sides. So I'm just looking from here to here and here to here. So I'm going to go ahead and just tape that there. And then I'm going to turn to my machine and cut that. Okay, so our window is cut out. So if you, in case you weren't following that, I cannot use this for my doors unless I wanted my doors to not be completely closed. So I'm not going to be using that piece for this. So I'm going to bring over this piece, and I'm basically, how did I do this when I was playing off camera? I think I kind of just went like this and just tried to line it up as best I could. I'm not sure. Let's just try this. You know, we can always trim it up. But I have to go 1/4 inch past the outside of the window. So I'm just going to make a mark about 1/4 inch right here. Okay. And then I'm going to move this for now, and I'm going to go about 1/4 inch over here. Okay. And then, how did I do this off camera? Oh, you know what I could do? You know what I could do? I could go like this. Awesome. I didn't think of this until this moment. Just put that in there and use the window. Use that window. Okay, nothing is so descript here that it would be terribly off. So then what I can do is I can make a mark there, a mark here. Let's just make all the marks for all 4 bits here. Oh my goodness, I just wrote on it. What? It's okay. All right, so those are our marks. That's on my thing. Oh my goodness, Cara-Renee. Let's try that again. We did not get all of the bits here. So we got that. We got that. It just didn't go. It just went on my top paper instead of my bottom paper. So I will erase this mess. I should have known that. Everything else looks fine. So now that I have my markings for this, I can just use my my ruler and just make a line here and connect that so that I can just cut it by hand. Okay, so oh, we need to go 1/4 inch out. Okay, so that's our marks for that. Oh my goodness, I'm so lost. Yeah, so I don't know where my marks went. Oh, I put it on there. That doesn't help me. Oh my word, why didn't you tell me? Okay, and you know what? Yeah, I think that's 1/4 inch. Shall we be specific here? Shall we be precise? Probably for this I should. I'm gonna move my mouse there. I don't want to mess this up, so I'm gonna make a 1/4 inch mark there, and that's for my hinge. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna cut the paper. And then I'm going to do 1/4 inch from here, which is where I'm going to cut that side. Okay, so I am going to turn to my cutter because that's ridiculous. Actually, let's bring in the little trimmer because I'm going to need the score tool. Where's the little trimmer? Oh, when I do a video, I have to move so many things around in here to make room for everything that I need to be able to access. So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and cut on that line, and I'm hoping that this is just going to be accurate enough. So we're going to just trim that off. That's going to be really cool in my Junk Journal January stuff. I'm loving the pink theme that I've been feeling lately. And then we're just going to cut that off as well. Set that over there. And then the top and bottom, we can just follow our lines, the marks that we made, because it's the same height. The only thing we had to adjust was the width. So I can just do that. I don't know what I did with that, because I've got a mark I don't understand. Okay, let's see. Let's see how badly we did after I erase these erroneous marks. So I may have this all wrong. We're going to find out in a minute, aren't we? There we go. So let's just put this up here and see if we've got, yeah, we did it right. Look. So we've got 1/4 of an inch on either side of that, which is exactly what we needed. So I'm just going to erase any pencil marks that I see. Okay. Hands are not working. I'm going to bring this over and we're going to do a 1/4 inch score line, or I mean, score, so that we can fold that. So I'm just putting that in my little score tool. Okay, so here's where we're going to use our zero gravity ruler, because now we need to find the center of this. Oh, we can use this right here. Bingo. Okay, bingo. So we're just going to use this middle line. Boom. Didn't even have to get the zero gravity ruler out. So, so I am going to bring this over just to make sure that everything looks good. It does. It looks pretty good. Okay, sweet. So now I'm going to cut down the center of that. I am going to use my precision trimmer for this because I want to make sure I get a really accurate cut. So I'm just bringing this over in front of me. It's huge. Like I can't even sit up to the desk because it's huge. And I can't tell if it's straight because I don't have very much to work with there. So we're gonna just go for it. Okay, there we go. There we go. There she is. That was not in the center though. I just had to erase the center mark. Okay, so what I want to do first, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to ink around this and ink around the inner edge of the window and these two pieces, and I'll be right back. I think this would be very challenging with a lighter weight paper, so I would suggest a heavy paper. Again, I printed on 65-pound paper. I tried to actually print on my cardstock. My new printer, my replacement printer, will not do it. It like sucks the paper in a little bit before it starts or pushes it out or something, so I end up with a border on one end like that. So I'm not sure what that's about, and that's with me changing the settings to heavyweight paper, so I don't know. But let's see how did this actually go? How did this actually go? Right there. Okay, so there's that. So now we're going to actually be gluing. We're going to be putting our glue on this side and we're going to be sliding it in there. Okay, let's just do that for now just to see that. Oops, that's the wrong way. You know what? Yeah. No, that's not right. That's wrong. That's right. That's right. But we're going to fold it back because I want to see that it's going to close, okay? And it's going to, everything's going to meet up. So, come on, Cara-Renee. Hands work. So I'm just buttoning it up to that edge and making sure that we've got enough room. That looks great. Okay, so now we can get our, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because I want a little bit of time to wiggle and move this around. So, whoops. I'm just going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on this edge, on the top of the edge, because we're going to be sliding this in here. It's going to stick to the back of this. So, and just get that in there, and you can kind of wiggle it around a little bit, get it where you want it, and we're going to leave it because in my prototype I tried to fold it and then moved it and then it was out of line, and so we're going to leave that while we glue the other one. So same process. I'm looking forward to sitting down tonight after I film this and get it edited and do some Junk Journal January work. See, that one is not right. So let me just help that along. Something was awry there. And we're a little bit short on the top for some reason. So, but it is okay. So let's just let that dry a moment. Okay. Actually, it's because this one should have been in a little bit further. I don't think it's going to move anymore, but it's okay. So now, while that's drying, we can kind of, we're going to have to play with it a little bit because we need to keep going here. So I'm just going to fold those back. And then our woman, our girl, our lady is going to go right. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So pretty. Okay. So she's going to get glued in there. Okay. So we're going to, I want to catch as much of her dress as possible. So I'm just going to make a mark here. Okay. And then I'm going to make a mark here because that's the height that we're going to, we're going to cut here. Okay. Because we're going to cut off that part of the page and then we're going to cut off this. Hoping this is making a modicum of sense. So let's turn, I'm going to turn to my precision trimmer and do this. Okay, there we go. So she doesn't need to be inked or anything because that's only she's going to be showing. And this does add a little bit of bulk. So again, keep that in mind as you're creating. But I think it's fine. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. So, oh, I didn't ink the inside. Let me do that really quick. This is the tea stain paper from the Beautiful Birds kit that I use all the time from Ruby and Pearl. I just love the neutral, soft feel of this digital. So I use it a ton. Oh, that's not going to show. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So this is going to get glued here. Now, when I was off camera, I was trying to think about again, you could put another piece of paper here and you could make a pocket, but then what's the point? Because you're still doubling, tripling up your paper. So I thought we would just glue this on here. And if I've got any overhang, I'll cut it off the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabri-Tac and I'm going to put glue around all of the sides of this. Now, obviously, you could use a partial image, but then, you have to figure out how you're going to make the inside of this page pretty. And I just haven't figured that out yet. This is as far as I got in my creative exploration here. So I'm just going to put that down. Sorry, I'm off to the left here. And I'm going to line that up and make sure that it's not infringing on my fold there. And let's just make sure that everything is straight. It looks great. And just give that a good push all the way around. And I think what I'll do is I'll sew around that. I think that will be really pretty. But look at that. Isn't she absolutely gorgeous? Gorgeoso, as they say. So that is our main one. So now you've got this seamless page. Now when I do the journal, I'll probably put some pockets or something in here and make it maybe coordinate with what's going on here. I'm not sure, but that's our first one. I'm going to set that over on the sewing machine. So let's do the other one that's the kind of what I'm calling the faux belly band situation. So which images were those? I don't recall. Well, let's see. I think it was, which one was it? I don't remember. It wasn't this one, so let's get that. Well, no, now we know it's this one. So same kits. So one's a winter, pink winter, one's a regular winter, and then one is the Harmony kit that I mentioned before. So again, we're going to go ahead and fold our journal page in half. And I just backed these all with that tea stain paper because I am in love with it. So, and it's easy. I keep it on my desktop and I just can grab it. And my printer is working great. My replacement printer, I did move it. It was over here, and it was kind of up high, so I couldn't scan anything because I could only barely open the top of it. So now I have it over there, and I have all my paper right there, which is working out really, really nicely. I'll have to show you what that looks like in case you're interested. But there is our journal page. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We don't need both of those for this project. I just didn't know which ones I was going to use. I'm going to ink this edge just so that we can see it for the purposes of the video mainly, and we'll ink everything else up in a moment. So here we are. So I said that I wanted to go 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to, well, let's decide how wide we want our belly band to be. So that our page is 5 1/4. And so I usually don't go, I think I'll go 3 1/2 for a belly band. So if we went 1 inch, 1 1/2. What did I do on this one? I liked this one. Let's see what we did here. Yeah, 1 1/2. I was thinking about that correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mark somewhere where I can hopefully see it just to start this process. Because this is the one where we're going to be doing it with the craft knife, which I have an aversion towards craft knives, but I'm again, it's my year for exploration. So I'm going to make a mark there. Okay. I'm going to make that a little bit longer because I'm going to probably come down lower because my 1/2, my 1 1/2, my 3/4 of an inch from the top. Not quite. Oh, that's not very tall. It's still more than we had, so we're going to go with it. So I'm going to make a mark here. Okay. I know this is going to be hard for you to see on the video. In fact, I can't even see that mark. Yikesies. Let me bring this line up a little bit taller here. We can always erase, so don't you worry. Okay, so 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to make a mark. Oh, there's my mark right there. Okay, so we're going to cut there, and then we're going to do the same here. I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch, so we need to connect those. So I'm going to make a mark here, and I'm just going to close that gap, and then we're going to make a straight line for our cut. And we need to do the same with the bottom. Sorry for the flipping and flopping. You guys probably have a better way of doing this than what I'm demonstrating here, but you know. This is outside of my wheelhouse. It's not something that I normally do on camera. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to line this up on my mat so that I make sure that I'm getting a straight line. So I'm going to draw a line. You know, and one could just have done something completely easier than this. And let's get this to a line. Okay. To an actual line on the grid. Right there will do. Okay. And so now as long as I'm lined up, I'm golden. Okay. So I'm just going to make a line all the way. That's going to be easier because you can always erase it. There we go. Look at it. And now you guys can actually see it, which is a bonus. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's line that back up again. I'm so used to not using the mat that it's going to be hard for me to do it this way, think about it this way. So there we go. Let's go ahead and make another line, except I'm not on a line that's going to count. So I'm going to wing it here. Where'd my line go? Because basically I really need to have it on the grid there. Okay. Let me just problem solve this together with you guys. So what I mean is so that I can see this line so that my ruler is actually I'm actually creating a legitimate straight line with my ruler. I've got my marks, so I'm just going to use my marks this time. And I'm just going to make the line from here to here, just that center section, okay? And then I'm going to go up here and do the same thing. And it looks like it's right there. I'm taking a chance here because I'm not following my own instructions here. But I think we'll be good. Yeah, that looks great. So now let's go ahead and erase these lines so we don't get confused when we start cutting. Okay. Let's get rid of all the erroneous lines that we do not need. Okay. All my extra marks. Okay, here comes the fun part. Ha ha ha. So I do have to turn this for my own angle for cutting. Again, I'm not super good with the knife, so I am going to go to the left of my line because I don't want to get any of that pencil in, and this is all going to be cut out. So I'm going to just carefully start it there, and I'm going to go down. Okay, and I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to go up and do it one more time. Gotta get on the paper though, Cara-Renee. I guess it cut through, is my suspicion there. We'll find out, won't we? Yeah, it did. Sharp knife. I want it to be on the outside. Oh, that's going to be hard. Let me turn this, guys. I'm sorry, because I want to be able to, I need to see the pencil line so I can be on the outside of it. If that's making any sense to you guys, I'm hoping. If you've been around for long, you know that, this is just kind of what I do. And that's okay. It's a good knife though, grateful. There we go, and we're going to do the top and the bottom. Same way. I'm going to bring this kind of towards me a little bit. Just making sure I have it as straight as I can. Again, perfection is not at play in the studio. It's not important. And so I don't worry about it. I'm going to turn this again so that I can see that line. And boom. Let's hope everything cut. Let's hope everything cut. No, it did not. Okay, what happened here? Okay, we need to do those other lines again. For some reason, they didn't cut the first time through. Isn't that weird? So let's line that back up again. We're getting off our measurements, but it's not that important, okay? It's just a general guide. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Why didn't that cut? It did partially. Maybe I didn't go close enough to the corners. So let me just see if I can nip that without tearing. Just finish that cut. Same here. I know it's hard because I don't normally do this, so I know I'm being very clumsy. The risk of doing that is you risk tearing it, so I'm going to be a little bit more surgical here. Where isn't it cut? Oh my heavens, I should have done it twice, all the way around, you guys. I was taking for granted that it was going to work the same all the way through, and it did not. But there we go. Oh my goodness, look at that. That was a rough bit. So let's see if we can clean that corner up just a tad bit. Oh, my scissors are not as sharp as they used to be. The tip. These are the best fussy cut scissors I've ever found. They're Cutter B. I love them. I'm not looking for perfection, so let's let that go. So I'm going to go ahead and let's look at our image that we want to go in there, which is going to be super fun. Look at her. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Isn't that so pretty? So I want to make sure we capture maybe some of these branches down here. And so I'm going to just go like that. And I'm just looking at this edge to make sure I'm kind of straightish. And I'm going to, I'm going to make a mark here. And the problem I had when I turned to cut the last time is I cut this part off and then I lose my line. So it's kind of silly, but we'll give it another shot. I'm just hobbling along here. Okay, let me go ahead and turn to my cutter and cut that real quick. Let's see how we did. Because we want it to be the same size as the other page, so let me just do that. It looks like we're a little bit long, so let me trim off just a smidge more. I'm not sure why it's off or how much it's off. Let's just check this. Yeah, it looks like it's about a 1/16 of an inch or something like that. Let me trim that. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and take another moment to ink around this and the inside of the window. I'll be back. So I think on this one, what I'd like to do is, I was thinking about just doing it as a pocket, just so you guys can see what that would look like. And I think that's what we're going to do. So that means we can use this other piece of paper and, let's see. Yeah, because then this could be on the other side. I think I'd like to do that. So let's go for it. I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4 inches wide, and then I'm going to glue it on 3 sides, and we're going to make a pocket at the top. So what do you think? Do you think it should be on the side? I think it should be on the side and have her pull out here. I think that's what I'd like to do. So that means I'm going to take off just a smidge more off this because that was not lining up, because there's a little bit of bulk there, right? Well, no, look at that. It looks like it's fine. Yeah, it looks like it's fine. So yeah, we're going to just ink around this, and then I'm going to glue it on 3 sides. Yeah, there we go. So we want this to go, we want it to butt up to this edge, so I'm just going to start there with it being all nice and lined up. Come on, move. Move, move, move. And then let's just commit and get it down there. Okay. So I don't think we're going to get to the third one, guys. Basically, all I was going to do is make a smaller journal page and then just do a square somewhere on it. So same process. So I don't feel like it's important for me to show you that necessarily, but I am loving that. Loving that. One could also have put some acetate or something in that window, but I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit on either side of this just so that we can get it in the pocket like so. And I'm going to just grab my whale tail punch here and make a whale tail punch. We've got this piece that we can use, which is perfect. I love that flower, so let's use that. This is that piece that we cut out. Need to change that sponge. Okay, so now this is going to, oh, I trimmed it off the sides instead of the top and the bottom. Oh my goodness, let me trim some off of the bottom here because I need to allow for about that much. So I'm going to take off about 1/4 of an inch. Oh my goodness, that was silly. Sometimes I just laugh at myself. There we go. So that's going to slide in here. It's a nice little card to go in that little faux belly band. window. It's not really a belly band. I don't know what I was thinking. So why is that not going in? Sometimes our glue spreads a bit more than we anticipated. So let me just see if I can open that up a little bit. Very carefully. Let's go ahead and put our tab on there. Ooh, I like that red showing, but I also like the flower. So let's do the flower. I'll put a piece of seam binding on this. I might put another card in there too. That's the nice part about doing it this way, is that you have that versatility. Oh, the flower's right there though. I don't want to use the flower then. That's redundant. So I'm going to put this on the side about, actually I'm going to go kind of up, because I'm going to do 2 cards. So then I can stagger those whale tail tabs. Okay, so then this is going to go in here. No need to have undue frustration, right? And then what I love about this is by doing it this way versus the first way is that we create all this writing space. So you've got this writing space on the back, and then you've got all of this, and then whatever you do on the other side, and then whatever other card we put in. So, oh, that's so much better. Yay. Yay. It's a little hard to get a hold of, apparently. Gosh, goodness gracious. Ah, okay, there we go. She's in. Isn't that absolutely stunning? So that is our journal page. Okay. And then again, and I might add some more to this just because I'm also working on the journal. So I think I would like to leave that blank for writing space, but I think I'll put some triple pockets or something because I've got extra paper here. So I'm going to call it a day. I will do the third one, which is just using a square die. I might even go and get a heart die and do something with a heart die. We'll see. You'll see that in the photos at the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me and for bearing with my my tricky stuff that I'm trying to learn, and for supporting my exploration year. I'm really trying to not be so prepared. I'm trying to just be able to go with the flow a little bit and work through things on camera so that, and I know you guys appreciate being able to learn from a creator as they're creating and not bringing perfect to the table. I'm not bringing perfect to the table. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.